We are back with another video. Before we get into the video, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Cardi B is unfortunately getting called out because a lot of fans are accusing her of using payola. Cardi B's Aha was the most added song on US urban radio this week. And a fan said they're trying so hard to make Cardi B's new song stick. It's not sticking, it's a flop. Paying for major radio play is just showing us more and more how her whole career is based off of pay for play. Yikes, okay? So fans were accusing her of using payola basically because the song did okay. I wouldn't say it was a complete flop, but it debuted at number 25, despite Cardi B saying that her records live in the top 10 on the Hot 100. Then she went on this full rant saying that numbers don't matter, even though she said last year she was going to outsell Nicki Minaj.
Oh, well, maybe I should have dropped it after Ariana. No. I don't give a fuck if there's 3 albums coming up in one day. If I want to drop, I'm going to drop. Not everything is about chart placement. Not everything about nothing. Y'all rather fucking have a gazillion chart placements and this and that. But y'all not y'all blindly not seeing how it's like, damn. People are loving her song. People are listening to her song. She's getting back in that rhythm. Let shit happen. Let shit happen. And if it doesn't happen with the song, it's gonna happen with the next one.
Then last year, she said that she was going to outsell Nicki Minaj. She failed to do that.
So I'm outsell. I'm gonna have he on top. That's a fact. Y'all never watch it for y'all parents when they say you got what you be wishing for is not what y'all. I understand when my fans ask for my album because duh. But when my ops ask for my album, like why? What do you think is gonna happen? What do you think is gonna happen when I drop my album? You think it's gonna flop? You know it's not gonna flop. You know. So just stop. I know it's not gonna flop. I'm confident. I put that on my soul. I put that on your mother's soul.
So let me know how y'all feel about that, okay? So Cardi B has been caught in a series of lies when it comes to her stats. You know, she said she was going to outsell Nicki Minaj when it came to her last album. Clearly, she wasn't talking about Scratch Off, Doja Cat, Megan Thee Stallion, because she already outsells them. So why would you need to talk about you outselling the ones you already outsell? She was trying to outsell Nicki Minaj. That's why she put all them old ass songs on the album, and she had like 50 different versions, right? They also were the same price as a $5 footlong at Subway. You know, back in the day, Subway used to have a $5 footlong. I don't know if they do that now. I don't eat Subway no more, but you know, it was the same price as that. And now, you know, she has her single Aha for 69 cents on iTunes, but unfortunately it failed to go top 10. So Titanic Records is trying to give it some payola, not a lot, but some payola, so that way it doesn't completely fall off the charts, because radio does affect the charts. So if you get a lot of radio play, your song will stay on the charts. If you don't get a lot of radio play, your song may go down the charts, because it's usually streams and radio that counts the most towards the Billboard Hot 100. So let me know how y'all feel about that, and if you think Cardi B will eventually go top 10. Now, Tyla has came out, and after she was exposed for liking or reposting a shady article clowning Rihanna, okay, even though her album only sold 17,000 first week, she decided to lie and say that she was hacked. She said, y'all know that's not me. Y'all can keep trying to find ways for me to look like someone I'm not. Be for real. Y'all dragging it. Now, Tyla, come on now. You can't keep blaming on getting hacked or it's not really you. You have control over your social media. And even if you're not doing it, your team is doing it. Stop. Do you think we're boo-boo the fool? Do you need to go outside and touch some grass in South Africa and come back to reality? You think you fooling us Americans, and you're not. You're not. Stop it. You be shading Rihanna. You want to be her, which is fine. I mean, I can understand why. She's had a very successful career. But stop acting like you don't be throwing shade. Own it. That's one thing I respect about Rihanna. When she threw shade, she owned that shit. You know, when she was throwing shade at Tiana Taylor, TLC, Sierra, she owned it. She didn't do no cop-outs. I don't respect the cop-out, Tyler. I don't respect the cop-out. Because you already not likable. So you might as well just be the villain. Okay, like Nicki Minaj and Rihanna. Okay? Nicki is not liked, so she already gets into her villain bag. You might as well just already get into your villain bag because, girl, you're not liked by the general public. That's why you're selling 17,000 first week. That's why your last 3 singles flopped. Even though they were bops, they flopped. So, you know, Tyler, you might as well just get in your villain bag. Rihanna was in her villain bag in, you know, her early 20s, her mid 20s. You got to get in there, okay? Because when you try to, you know, throw a rock and hide your hand, people don't respect that. I don't respect you throwing shade and then trying to double back. You know what I'm saying? It's giving Doja Cat. That's why I can't stand Doja Cat sometimes. She do that as well. Own it up. You don't fuck with Rihanna and you just need to come out and admit it. I want her spot. I want her out the game. She's not dropping music. I'm skinnier than her. I have no waist. She has a waist. You know, you gotta go for the juggler. I understand. You want her spot. But I don't respect the, you know, you trying to throw the rock and hide your hand. You know, and I like Tyler. But if you do this again, I'm gonna have to give you some lashings. Okay, I'm gonna let it slide today. But stop, you know, sneak dissing on social media and then doubling back. Now, unfortunately, Victoria Monet is receiving some backlash because she said that Beyonce is her favorite rapper. Okay? Let's take a listen.
My favorite rapper, Beyonce.
Now, as we know, Victoria Monet, she's a huge fan of Beyonce, but Beyonce's not a rapper. Now, Trina did this a few years ago where she said Beyonce was the queen of rap and Beyonce was her favorite rapper, if you guys remember.
Something specific that happened in music and culture that kind of opened the landscape for more female rappers to rise to the top?
Yeah, Beyonce, because she's like the #1 female rapper when she does rap. So I feel like
This is it. People do sleep on Beyonce when she does spit.
there's no sleeping on the queen, okay? There's no sleeping on the queen. It's just one of those things. Like, of course, this is the queen's Beyonce, but when you hear her do a song and there's rapping involved, it's like, oh my god, like it's more inspiration.
Now, Trina fell out with Nicki Minaj, and that's why she is always gonna say Beyonce's the, you know, queen of rap, or Beyonce is her favorite rapper. Victoria Monet, she's just trying to get a collaboration from Beyonce, which she's never going to get after copying her for many years. But that's why she's saying Beyonce is her favorite rapper, even though Beyonce barely rap. And when she do rap, Camel Face in The Dream wrote her bars. Okay? But the fact that Trina was saying that, you know, Beyonce has opened up more doors for more female rappers. She hasn't even opened the door for her own artists. She has locked the door on Chloe and Holly. Chloe is getting dragged by her locks every day on social media. The last project she dropped with Timberland completely flopped, didn't sell. Beyonce didn't promote it. Beyonce has been paying Chloe and Holly dust. Won't even give them a collaboration. But we're saying she's opening doors for female rappers? Oh my goodness. This is hilarious. This is hilarious. I'm sorry, y'all. She hasn't even opened the door for her own artists. She don't even work with the R&B and rap girlies like that. You know, she worked with Megan and she worked with, Nicki, but that's about it. And she only worked with Megan because Megan's under Roc Nation. I mean, that was the only reason why she worked with her. If Megan never signed with Roc Nation, Beyonce and Camel Face would have paid her dust. I'm like, Beyonce opening doors for female rappers, that is crazy. But it seems as though because the industry doesn't like Nicki Minaj, they're having people say that Beyonce is the queen of rap because they can't give the crown to nobody else. Cardi B is flopping and she can't rap. She's always off beat. She has no talent. The other girls can't sell. Scratch off Doja Cat, Megan Thee Stallion. So it's like, who we gonna give the crown to if we can't give it to Nicki because we don't like her? We can give it to Beyonce because she rap here and there. That's what it's given. It's like, we're gonna crown Beyonce as the favorite female rapper, number one female rapper, as Trina says, because at the end of the day, we don't really fuck with Cardi. She's just a puppet, but we don't really fuck with her. She doesn't have any talent. Beyonce has talent and she raps sometimes. So that's what it's given. That's why everybody's saying, oh, Beyonce, Beyonce. And Beyonce barely rap, okay? She rap on one or two songs here and there, but, you know, that's what it is. And Camel Face is a rapper, so that's another reason why they probably going to say, oh, Beyonce, because Camel Face rap. But Beyonce hasn't opened no doors for anybody except for herself and Blue Ivy. The only door that's getting open is the one that Blue Ivy's in front of. These other hoes ain't getting shit. Now, speaking of Devil Nation, Megan Thee Stallion, who was twerking for Kamala during her campaign, has now sat down with Michelle Obama, the former First Lady, to talk about her upcoming album. Let's take a listen to what Megan has to say.
Need Tina to know, I don't think she ever just actually left. I don't think she was never just not there. But I think giving her a proper rollout, a proper title, a reintroduction to hotties that may not have been with me since 2017, 2018. I think that this is like going to be a new experience for them. I have so many collaborations that I feel like the hotties have been asking me for, like from niche collaborations, like just like personal interest amongst me and the hotties.
Yeah.
Collaborations that's overdue. Collaborations that have shocked the people, like really gagged alive.
Okay.
Just, I feel like Act 3 is going to be one of my favorite projects I ever put out because I definitely took my time with this one.
So let me know if you guys think that Megan Thee Stallion was gagged alive. Now, she got a Dolce collaboration, Cardi B, Doja Cat, and allegedly a Camel Face and Haley Williams collaboration. I think she's talking about the Haley and Camel Face collaboration that's gonna gag alive. But I don't know. I feel like the Camel Face collaboration ain't gonna really gag it for me. You know, I think if she really want to gag alive, she gotta call up Taylor or something. You know, she gotta call up Beyonce again. I feel like that will gag alive. Camel Face just dropped a remix. What was it? Morning Puke remix that he dropped with Beyonce. That was doo-doo. I didn't like that remix at all. Camel Face need to just stick to babysitting, you know, Rumi Sir and Blue Ivy and call it the day. I don't like when he do music now because he just sounds 75 on the mic. He's not in tune with the younger generation. He just sound old and out of touch on the mic. He needs to just call it the day. But, you know, she call up Taylor and, you know, Beyonce, then it might gag alive. Or even Queen Ari. If she call up Queen Ari. You know, they did the 69 remix together. I don't know if I care about the Doja Cat collaboration. I like Doja Cat. I don't know if it's going to gag alive, like she said. So let me know if you guys are interested in her next album, Act 3, which she got from Beyonce. And if you think she's going to sell at least 50,000 first week. How much y'all think she's going to do first week? That's what really matters. People can say, oh, numbers don't matter. That's what Cardi B's running with because she flopping. But the numbers matter because they be bragging about them. When they was on top, they was bragging about the numbers. So you got to continue to brag about them. You got to talk about them even when you're flopping. It's not when you're on top. That's not always when we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it when you're flopping as well. Now, Megan Thee Stallion also said that the internet has made it really easy to become famous with bad music. Michelle Obama's brother said a lot of people want fame without the hard work that goes into it. Megan agreed, and she said, honestly, it is a little easier to do that now. You can go viral on Instagram and have a terrible song. Wow. Okay? Now, a lot of people feel like she's shading Sexy Red and Glorilla, who do not like Megan Thee Stallion. That's what the streets are saying, that was a shot, okay, at Glorilla and Sexy Red. Let me know how y'all feel about it. In my opinion, well, I feel like personally Sexy Red and Glorilla, even though they may not be super talented, they make better music than Megan Thee Stallion. Megan Thee Stallion also blew up on the internet. It's kind of like the pot calling the kettle black. Like, you also blew up on the internet. Your two biggest hits, WAP and Savage, were TikTok songs, okay, that blew up on the internet. Let's be very clear. I don't understand how she could really throw shots. I think Megan thinks that she's bigger than what she actually is. But when you really think about it, you're no different from Sexy Red and Glorilla. Obviously, they might be a little bit more ratchet because they're deeply from the hood. But at the end of the day, y'all are one and the same. Y'all all talk about your coochie and sex. Okay? So, Megan Thee Stallion is a little bit delusional in my opinion. But anyway, I got some very hot tea on Perez Hilton, Ariana Grande, what's going on with them behind the scenes. David the Singer on Patreon, link will be in the description. I hope you guys have a great day.